Hi everybody. This is just going to be a quick little overview of ABG analysis using the Rome method. Points you have to remember: your pH is going to look at a solution, and in this case it's going to be blood, to determine if it's acidic or alkalotic or basic. CO2 makes the blood more acidic. Bicarb makes the blood more alkalotic or basic. So how to use Rome: you're going to look at your values, you're going to look at the direction they are heading. So if the pH and CO2 are going in opposite directions, you have a respiratory problem. If your pH and bicarb are going in the same direction, you have a metabolic problem. So looking at this problem here, we're going to look at the direction they're heading. Our pH is 7.42. It's in the normal range, but it's heading a little bit more to the alkalotic side, so we're going to have our arrow going up. I use this little 0 here just to kind of remind me that that value is normal, so I don't overlook it. Our CO2 is 48, and our bicarb is 32. So here we're going to look at the pH and CO2. If they are opposite, going in the opposite directions, this is a respiratory problem. If the pH and bicarb head in the same direction, it is a metabolic problem. So when we talk about compensation, you're going to first look at the pH. If it is within the normal range, then we have full compensation. If you have that, you don't need to look at your CO2 or bicarb because you already know that it is in full compensation. However, if this normal was abnormal, then you would turn to your CO2 and bicarb. If one of these are within the normal range, there is no compensation. If both are abnormal, they are basically both doing their part, so then it's partial compensation. So putting it all together, let's look at your values, look at the direction they are heading. So this is normal, slightly alkalotic. So if we apply respiratory opposite, they're going in the same direction, so I continue to say metabolic equal, so they are going in the same direction. So we have metabolic problem, we have metabolic acidosis. If you look at the compensation, we first look at our pH. It's within range, so we are fully compensated. Because this is within range, we don't need to look at our other values. Let's look at this. Look at your values, look at the direction they are heading. This value, 7.55, makes it alkalotic. 28, this is making it more basic. And this one is actually within range. And if you needed to put an arrow on it, it would be heading downwards because it is heading to be more acidic. But based off of this, we know we have an alkalotic. And if we want to talk about whether it's respiratory or metabolic, we go respiratory opposite, metabolic equal. We know that these two values are going in the opposite direction, so it's a respiratory problem. When we look at compensation, pH is out of range, so then we must look at our CO2 and bicarb. One of the values is within normal range, and since only one is abnormal, it is no compensation. So we interpret this as respiratory alkalosis with no compensation. We'll look at this one, 7.30, acidic. 28, this is more basic, and 18, this is more acidic. So we know that this is acidic. Let's put Rome to the test. Respiratory opposite, nope. Metabolic equal yes. So we have metabolic acidosis. Next, if we look at compensation, we look at our pH first. It is not within range. So then we're going to look at our CO2 and bicarb. Because both of them are abnormal, they're both doing their part, so it is partial compensation. So we have metabolic acidosis, partial compensation. That was really a quick overview. Hopefully it will be a good reminder and a quick reminder of the basics of ABGs.